everyone, and welcome to
The Movie House.
Today we want to talk to you about a movie from 2023, which as we filmed this was just a few months ago in the theaters, called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's rated PG-13, and it runs for...
That's PG-13?
Yeah, surprisingly enough.
Really?
It's rated PG-13, and it runs for 2 hours and 45 minutes, I believe.
Oh, that was a long movie.
It's a long movie.
Long movie.
What'd you think?
That's what I think of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I was so disappointed. So disappointed because we are huge, huge fans of the first two movies. We love those movies so much. We have the soundtracks. We have the t-shirt. We quote them all the time. We watch them over and over again. And we got this from our library because some movies we just don't pay to see in the movie house anymore. But we got it from the library and we started watching it. And how far did we get into it before we stopped?
We got about a third of the way into it.
And I was like, I just don't care. I just don't like this. I'm not into it. Let's just not watch it.
Yes, we stopped it and we went about our business, and then, I don't know, a couple days later, I think.
And that was like the next day.
Was it the next day?
Yeah, it was the next day.
I was like, it was so like Thor, Love, and Thunder. I just, out of curiosity, I just had to see how this thing ends. And it's the same sort of thing with this movie. I'm like, I just kind of want to see how this story ends, even though I'm not really into it, don't really care. I'm just too curious to just not know. So we put it back on and finished it. It was not worth the trip, unfortunately. There were some laughs and some interesting scenes, but overall, yeah, it was a horrible conclusion to the trilogy of the Guardians. And one person said that one of the reasons may have been that James Gunn had a writing partner on the first two movies, and this one he wrote by himself, directed by himself, and you can kind of see that he maybe needed a little bit of input from some outside saying, maybe you don't want to do this.
Yeah. It was so much yelling.
Yes.
Almost all the cast, all they did was yell and scream and cuss at each other. And you didn't have that in the first two. There was a lot more humor and funness to the first two. And maybe that was why, because this is a lot darker. It's a darker movie, which again, I didn't understand what the point was of all this darkness. But even you can still have a dark topic, and I don't know why you threw out the baby with the bathwater. I don't understand that you have these two frolics, which were a lot of fun, and then you make this downer. Big time downer. And we even said that the characters wouldn't act like that. They wouldn't talk like that. They wouldn't. Why are they acting this way? After all they've been through, this is how they act. So you saying that this was just James Gunn, his dream, his invention, I'm like, what in the world was going on in your life that this is what you created?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate and sad. And add to that as well, there's references to things we didn't see that apparently are part of the Disney Plus world.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
On streaming. And so they're talking about things. We're like, what are they talking about?
What are they talking about?
When did that happen? How did that happen? We have no idea why or how. And it pulls you out of the movie.
Yes.
And again, robs you of enjoying the story that's in front of you, because now you're sidetracked with why are they saying what they're saying?
Well, and if they are going to do that, they should assume or not assume that everybody has Disney Plus and watches it. So if you're going to introduce that sideline, then have it explained in the movie.
Right.
Because that's not fair to say, well, if you want to know why we did such and so and why these threads are happening, you have to buy Disney Plus and then watch it.
Right.
And we're not going to tell you what to watch because I don't know what show this was from that they introduced these sidelines. And that's not fair. I think that's wrong to do that. This is well, we're just going to leave you hanging. And if you want to know, you have to get on the internet or buy Disney Plus. This is a plug to buy Disney Plus.
Well, that's the reason why we're glad we didn't pay Disney for the opportunity to see this movie, because that's what they're essentially doing, is they're trying to force people into buying their streaming channel. Because if you don't, you're not going to understand half of what we put out there. If you really like these characters and these storylines, you got to pay up to keep involved, and otherwise you're going to be lost and you're not going to enjoy it as much. Which, again, I think is backfiring on them, because they're not doing well. Their stock is going down. Their subscription numbers are going down because people are like, we don't have the time or the money to do all this homework just to avoid the aggravation of missing out on a few beats here and there.
Well, and we want to be entertained.
Right.
I'm watching this to be entertained, not to have to do work. Like you said, I have to do homework now. That's not what it should be about. But there was, as he said, there was some good moments. I think one of the cutest additions was Cosmo, the dog, right?
Yes.
Cosmo. Oh, she was adorable.
Yes.
And we've been telling our dogs here at home all the time, you are a good dog. You are a good dog. So I liked her.
Right.
And I wish there was more of her. So, and then, well, I don't want to give any spoilers or anything. But,
go ahead, we can put a spoiler alert
okay,
up.
well, we'll put a spoiler alert up when Peter at the end, when he dies, and they made it like Yondu.
Oh,
I didn't like that. It's like, why are you doing the same thing to him? And I actually got tears in my eyes because I hated to see Star-Lord die before me. But it really bothered me. That's like, you guys already did this. Why are you doing it again?
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing.
It was a much more graphic depiction too of what would happen in that situation.
It was awful. It was,
Yeah, it was unsettling.
Yeah, but I didn't like that. It was like, really, of all the things that could have happened to him, you do the same thing to him that happened to Yondu, right?
Yondu, yeah.
Yondu. And that, when that happened in that movie, that was heart-wrenching and so poignant. And you were, and this, I was like, what are you guys doing?
Well, and the reason it happens to him too is, I thought was kind of dumb. He didn't get in that situation because he was trying to save somebody's life or anything like that. Spoiler alert. It's because he dropped his little cassette player thingy.
Right.
And he went back for it.
Yeah.
Which is, I know how much that stuff means to him, but at this point, can't he just buy another one?
Right.
Somewhere?
Right.
I mean,
he owns Nowhere now. Don't they rule Nowhere now?
It's not the one his mom gave him.
Right, no, it's
that got
not.
destroyed
right.
2 movies ago or whatever. So he doesn't have that emotional attachment to this device or all the songs on it, because it's a modern device with thousands of songs on it.
Right.
Why did he do that? That was just kind of stupid in my view.
Yeah.
He would risk his life for that.
Right. Yeah.
2 movies ago, it made more sense, but not in this.
Not
movie.
now, yeah. But I just thought that was really. I don't like it when people start rehashing stuff. And this isn't like the 8th movie in the series; it's the 3rd one. It's like, you just did this. Why are you doing it again?
Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot of cussing.
Oh, the yelling! Everybody yelling at each other.
A lot of violence. It was surprisingly PG-13. I don't know how it was a PG-13 movie.
Well, and I'm sure these kids are going to have nightmares, because parents took their kids to see this, and what was happening to Rocket and other animals in this movie, it was like, they're going to have nightmares. Don't tell me that your children didn't have nightmares. That should not be. Children should not have seen this movie.
It's way too long. It's like I said, almost 3 hours was way too long.
Right.
Should have been 2:15 maybe tops.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that long.
Well, and I thought too, they bring back some characters from the previous movies, like the Sovereign. And I liked the Sovereign because they were cool, and to me, they weren't utilized correctly. And there was a big, what you think was a big buildup from the previous movies concerning the Sovereign, and I thought that petered out. And then what happened at the end? I mean, they didn't do anything with the guy. So is he going to have his own TV show on Disney Plus? So there's no satisfactory end of this movie. You have to go to Disney Plus and see his show.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that's what they're doing. Is
right. I didn't
this
like
fall coming is a Sovereign show.
I didn't like what they did with the Sovereign either, because in the second movie they were really cool.
They were cool
and powerful and intimidating and dangerous, and in this movie they were none of those things. It's like, why would you take those, I mean, a whole race of characters essentially and just throw it in the garbage? Like that? I don't get it. But
well, it's the villain of the movie. They've already done this too, in a sense. They've already done this. They're dealing with, spoiler alert, a god, supposedly a god. And it's like, and I was shocked that they didn't say, we've already dealt with one of those.
Yeah.
We know how to handle a god, because it's like, did you forget about Ego?
Yeah.
You know, Star-Lord's dad, did you forget about that? And so, like I said, I just felt like it was rehashing stuff, and it wasn't fresh, it wasn't new. It took good things and destroyed them, and took mediocre things and tried to make it like, wow, this is something new. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Again, I don't know about what happens in the comics. Maybe it is not possible, but I think it would have been a better story if they used this, had the Sovereign as the bad guys. The High Evolutionary guy as one of their toadies. And he's doing what they want. Right, not the other way around. And because we know the Sovereign, we like the Sovereign, we're afraid of the Sovereign. Who is this guy? Right.
And frankly, too, sorry, James, we don't mean to be running you down, but we love the first two movies so much, and we love the music. Right. And this movie, I didn't know half. Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't know what decade they were pulling music from. I didn't know half of the music. Yeah. I did not know half of the songs. I like it at the beginning with Rocket singing that song. I like that. But the rest of the songs, I had no reference. I didn't know who they were, what they were. And they all just kind of sounded the same, too.
Yes, they did.
And again, you know, the other two were frolics and this wasn't, but I didn't feel grabbed by the music either, which I was disappointed. I was looking forward to. It's like, going to have to get that third soundtrack, and I don't think so.
No. So yeah, for this third movie, unfortunately, it's not going to go in our collection.
No,
it doesn't exist in our minds,
in our world.
We're just going to wipe it clean. Doesn't exist. And it's unfortunate because we were hoping for good things, and it just didn't happen. Disney, I think, has lost the thread. We don't know how to make good movies anymore, unfortunately.
Well, and especially when James Gunn got canceled, we were like, oh, man, we're never going to get another Galaxy movie. Right. So then when he was miraculously uncanceled, and we get this. We were just really bad dog. Yeah. Bad dog. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. There you have it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Don't waste your time.
No. Enjoy the first two.
Yes.
Enjoy the first two. Keep hold of those two. Enjoy those two. But, yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.